tip that a bit further up. Let's see how that is. Oh, very bright. Partial close here. This is not as lit up. If I stand, we're good? Okay. I'm gonna start my timer and get my music. Just bear with me here for a second. Okay. We have about 1 more minute until we get started for the Cowichan Brain Injury 10-10-10 morning wake up. All right, we're going to get started here. Welcome everyone to the Cowichan Brain Injury Society's 10-10-10 morning wake up program. Cowichan Brain Injury Society is a non-profit organization serving brain injured individuals and their support systems in the Cowichan Valley. Our 10-10-10 morning wake up program is a program designed to kind of tackle 3 of the 6 pillars of brain health. So we do 10 minutes of movement, 10 minutes of learning something new, and 10 minutes of mindfulness. And we put this out live every Tuesday morning, but you can access it on YouTube at any time that suits yourself. I am Billy. I'm the registered kinesiologist at Cowichan Brain Injury. And I want to remind everyone to make sure that their surroundings are safe, clear of any hazards. You should be able to raise your arms up to the side, also have your legs swing to each side. I recommend having kind of a sturdy, straight back chair with no armrests if possible. So again, you can kind of swing out to each side, move your legs from side to side without anything blocking you. This straight back chair kind of helps us engage our core and keep an upright posture. I do challenge you all to sit on the edge of the chair so that you do, in fact, keep that core engaged. You can think about lightly bringing your belly button up and in while we're doing these movements, or think about having almost like a corset around you or bracing just gently. We're not sucking in, but a gentle brace to our midsection to help keep our posture in line and strong and our core engaged. What else? Remember, Cowichan Brain Injury Society is not liable for any risk or injury. It is up to you to be in touch with your body. So if anything isn't feeling good, I don't want us moving into pain. If you have any shoulder issues, you only go to where it feels good. We're not pushing through. We don't want to aggravate any old injuries. Also, if you have to make modifications due to your mobility challenges or differences, please do that. If at any point you're feeling like your heart rate is getting too high and that's not feeling good for your body, or if you're on any type of medication that affects that and you need to keep your blood pressure or your heart rate lower, please modify that as well. And taking a break, listening to your body, having a few moments to breathe is totally fine. All right, we're going to get started here with our movement. I have an earbud in, so I'm going to get some music going to help me kind of flow through our 10 minutes of movement. Okay, I'm going to press play now with that. Okay, let's just swing our arms up overhead, watching the side of our chair so we don't hit our hands on our chair. Nice work. We'll do this for about 30 seconds. We'll do each movement for about 30 seconds. Our goal is to get some range of motion throughout our joints, get them warm and lubricated, and raising our heart rate just a bit to get a little bit of light to moderate exercise. Nice job. We've learned in the past with exercise that doing aerobic exercises that get our heart rate up is good for our heart health and neuroplasticity. Awesome. All right. Let's have our arms out in front. We're going to take one hand and bring it back, touching our shoulder, and then the opposite. You'll probably feel your shoulder blades activating here, getting movement through the shoulder blades. Nice. Trying to keep our shoulders square and in front, not twisting too much. Good. Nice work. Awesome. We're going to do some swimming here. Let's get some rotation throughout that shoulder joint. Bring our arm back behind us and up in front. Nice job. Gonna go the other way. Go backwards. Crawl. Good. And going at a pace that feels good for you, you might go quite quickly, or you might do it nice and slowly. That doesn't matter. It's about what feels good for your body. Nice work. Okay, we're going to put our arms up into kind of this 90-degree angle in front of us, and then we're opening into like a goal post. Again, we're getting those shoulder blades working, retraction and protraction. So they're squeezing together and then coming apart as we come in. Nice work. Good job. We're going to do one more exercise, upper body here. Well, we might still add some stuff, but we are going to move down. Get that lower body working as well here. Okay, now we're going up to the top. When you come down, you can think about pulling something down. So we'll get your latissimus dorsi muscle throughout your back activated. Good. A few more seconds here. Nice job. Okay, you can put your hands on your hips. We're going to do some hip hinges. So coming forward and up. Now, being mindful of if this activates any nausea or dizziness. And if so, moving either really slowly and taking a break at the top. Don't need to do this quickly. We're not going this far, just leaning a little bit forward right now. But again, doing what feels right for you. We don't want to aggravate any symptoms. They can be lightly aggravated, but not too much. I don't want you leaving this feeling unwell. I want to be feeling good after this. Nice start to our day. Nice work. Couple more seconds here. Awesome. Okay, we're going to do some marching in place, bringing our knee nice and high. If you want, adding in an arm. Actually, I want to do alternating arms. So, reaching up above your head, if that feels good for you, but you can just stick with the marching. Good work. Going at a pace that feels good for you. You can always start with just marching, and then to challenge yourself, add the arms. We're going a little longer with this movement. Good. Okay, we're going to do some kick outs. Again, just kicking out. Thinking about that core engaged. We're still sitting nice and upright. Good work. Now, if this movement, you're feeling pretty good, flowing through it nicely, add in some arms. Again, if you can do alternating out in front, be great. Going at a pace that feels good for you. We're going to stay in the chair mostly today, I think. We missed last week, so. And I was very sick last week. I need to ease back into movement myself. All right, couple more seconds. Ooh, good work. Okay, now we're just going to get our heels up. So we're getting our ankles and then our toes up. Heels up, toes up. Heels up, toes up. Good. We're going to keep this movement up. If you want, you can put your arms out in a T and just flick your fingers. This is making it more complicated. We're doing multiple movements. Good. Couple more seconds. Awesome. Okay, we're going to try to open up those hips. So we're just thinking about your knee kind of coming out, seeing how far you can get it without turning your whole body. We're just getting these hips, some openers, a little tap to each side. Nice. Again, you can add in some arms. Make it more challenging. Nice work. I went uncoordinated there for a moment, for sure. Let's do 15 more seconds here. Sorry if my chair's a bit creaky. I'll try my other chair next week. See if I remember. Because that's probably a little bit annoying. Awesome work. Okay. We're going to do some fast feet here. So I'm up on my tippy toes and I'm just going really quick. So we're not doing a big march. We're just doing quick feet. We can have our arms involved, like we're doing a little running here. A little run. I'm going to do this for 45 seconds or so. Good. Keep it up. Good. Nice, almost there. Couple more seconds here. Good job. We're going to do one last movement. 10 more seconds. Ooh. And there we go. We can slow down. Okay. I want us to extend our legs out in front of us. A little bit. Just getting a little stretch here. We're going to go point, up, and then lift one leg. Point, up, lift leg. Point, up, lift. Point, up, lift. Good work. Here we're doing a pattern. So we're pointing our toes, bringing them up, lifting a leg, which can be challenging to do a sequence like this. So go nice and slow. If you can go a bit quicker, great. But maybe we'll try more sequences next month. We'll learn a sequence and then do it for a minute or something. That'd be fun. Awesome. All right, shake out your arms, shake out your legs. Awesome. Pause your music if you have tunes. I'm gonna bring my chair forward, clunkety, clunkety, clunk. Take this out. Oh, I didn't mention water. You have water. Take a sip now. Okay. We're going to move into our 10 minutes of learning. We're not doing anything too super in-depth today, but May has been a month where we talked about social connection and the importance of social connection. So we talked about kind of these 3 pillars of social connection a couple weeks ago, which were things like quantity, quality, and like kind of the function. And then we talked about the health benefits of social connection and why as humans we need it. The first week, we're going to get a little bit more into it, but not too much. So if you are realizing that you might experience some loneliness in your life, which loneliness is a feeling that is telling us that we need social connection. I don't know about everyone else, but when I'm feeling lonely, I actually isolate more instead of reaching out. So that's taken me time, and I still go through moments where I don't do the reaching out. But if you notice that you have quite a few moments of loneliness throughout your days, weeks, months, finding ways to connect socially is really important. So note that social connection takes time and effort. It's not something that's simple, and you need to give it energy and prioritize it. Just like if you're trying to prioritize, your nutrition or your exercise, you need to actually spend mental time and space putting energy into these things and making them a priority. So sadly, social connection often doesn't just happen so organically. We need to actually put effort into that. And that means reaching out to people, sending that first text, trying to initiate things, trying new activities where you are going to meet people, and then, doing that big step of like, hey, I like hanging out with you. Can I get your number? And texting someone, etc. And doing it kind of consistently, because that's how you build a social relationship or a connection, right? Is you need some consistency. If you text someone that you just met every 3 months, that is not going to groups that maybe experiences as you have similar lifestyle practices can be a really great way to connect and find social connection. So for myself, I like roller skating. Going to some type of roller skating group will help me meet people that also enjoy the same activity as me. Or, even with challenges, like I've shared this before, but I used to struggle with alcohol use. So maybe going to like AA meetings or something like that, I might actually find people that have had similar challenges, and you can connect. That can be really beneficial. At Cowichan Brain Injury, a lot of our social programs is connecting people who have had brain injury, so might have similar challenges in their life. And that helps you feel a sense of belonging and real connectedness, especially when maybe some of your life challenges make you feel a little bit on the outside. Taking chances, reaching out, I kind of said that, and that small connections can actually be really important too, especially if you're just having a day where you're not feeling very connected. Go to the grocery store and make eye contact, say hello, how's your day going? Having these small interactions can actually feed us quite a bit. There was one thing I read, which was really interesting, is that just a handshake or a high five, and it can be a total stranger, releases dopamine and oxytocin, which are neurotransmitters that help you feel good. It actually, the same article I was reading saying that face-to-face and in-person contact with people, releases this kind of cocktail of neurotransmitters that helps us de-stress, reduce anxiety, feel connected. Oxytocin is a great, makes us feel really good inside. It's what's released when we have sex, when we're cuddling, all those kind of things. So you even get a hit of it by just doing a high five. So I think we should find ways of doing just little bits of contact with people that feel good for everyone, obviously with consent and stuff. But I thought that was quite fascinating. It didn't actually say what the study was, so I don't know 100% sure if that's totally backed by research, but you can do your own research and figure out if maybe there's a study that shows that. That would be very cool. And something I thought we should talk a little bit about here is the difference as well. Is that yes, everybody needs social connection. Introverted, extroverted, ambiverted, we all need social connection. We have evolved to be social beings. So it doesn't mean you don't need social connection. And some people equate those two things together. It does mean you might need less, or you might not do well with like big parties. You might need more one-to-one or small groups. And I read an article about introverts specifically, and it was saying how introverts often need more quality than quantity of relationships, where extroverts might feel enough social connection with kind of these small little interactions, a lot of they're friendly with everyone, and that fills up their need for social connection in a different way, where introverts might need more deeper social connection, if that makes sense. So like more in-depth conversation. So they might not be as often, they might not have as many friends, but those friendships are very are quality friendships and have like depth and some meat to them. So I thought that was kind of an interesting thing. And just in case people don't know, these terms, extrovert, introvert, and ambivert, these are ways of people kind of connecting socially, but it's really about how people recharge. So extroverts tend to feel recharged after socializing with people, where introverts feel recharged with some solitude, so time by themselves. And ambiverts, which I identify with, need a bit of both. Is if I don't have social connection, I don't feel very good. I love going out dancing and being at a party. But also if I'm doing a lot of socializing, I feel very burnt out. So I need solitude too. And most of us need balance, right? And that balance just looks different. But often we hear this story of like introverts don't like to socialize or don't like to people, and that's not true. They do. It just might look a little bit different. It does not mean there's no need for social connection. It just means what that looks like might be a bit different than an extrovert. And I just wanted to also, we've got like another minute of talking here, name that after a brain injury, this can change dramatically. So you might have been an extrovert, you might have liked parties and barbecues and socializing in large groups, and now that can be very overstimulating. There's a lot of conversation happening, there might be lights and music, etc., and all of that might activate symptoms or overwhelm your system. So know that how you socialize and how you connect might change dramatically after a brain injury. Also, I'm sure many of you know, is our emotional regulation and how we navigate our feelings can change a lot after a brain injury. So that also could disrupt social connection, right? There could be more conflict in your life, and navigating this conflict can put strain on relationships. So noticing those things and then figuring out tools on how to either learn how to regulate again or how to converse with people effectively. Communication can change significantly. If you're not able to come up with the words to explain yourself or ask for something, that can put a strain on relationships. So know that it's normal for how you socially connect and who you connect with, even if you're introverted or extrovert, might change quite a bit after brain injury. The last thing I want to say is understanding the difference between solitude versus loneliness. Loneliness is a difficult feeling. Solitude is when you're feeling good alone, when you're spending time doing hobbies with yourself or, reflecting, and where that feels good to be alone. Where loneliness is when you are needing social connection. So understanding the difference. It's not bad to be alone. We all need alone time as well. And solitude is really important for, I think, all of us, as well as social connection. So really figuring out the difference and knowing what works for you. Anyways, that's all we're going to talk about today with social connection. Actually, this month, we're not going to talk anymore about social connection. We're going to move on to mental stimulation for the month of June. But I think this is a good opportunity to just ask yourself if you're feeling connected enough to your community, to maybe those smaller circles. Do you need to work and prioritize social connection, and how would that look? And if you need any support with that, you can talk to really anyone at Cowichan Brain Injury. We can help kind of make a plan with you about how to prioritize that. Okay. I'm going to move into our mindfulness. We're just going to do a body scan today. So get yourself comfortable in your chair, whatever that looks like. And you can place one hand up on your chest and one hand just above your belly button. If you want to close your eyes, you can, or just soften your gaze. You're going to breathe in through your nose, trying to expand down to that lower hand, and exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Just slowing your breath here a bit and trying to fully expand when you inhale. So really feeling that lower hand coming outwards, expanding. And then as you exhale, that hand kind of coming inwards. So stay there for a bit, just noticing your breath, the rise and fall of your belly and your chest as you're breathing in and out. I'm going to start up at our heads today and move down to our feet. So we're going to just notice the skin around our skull. If you want, you can use some sensation to bring activation here or awareness. So if you want to put your hands up on your skull, give yourself a little bit of a head massage, noticing the skin around your forehead here. It comes back down towards the base of your skull. You can tap your cheeks a bit here, noticing the muscles and skin around your mouth. Trying to let that droop off of your bone. So after you've brought some awareness with maybe some physical touch, I want you to just think about that area of your body. And with each inhale, almost like you're bringing an openness and relaxation to that area. Letting our jaw hang open just a bit here. Some looseness throughout that area. Next, we're going to move down to our neck. And again, if you want to just give a little bit of gentle touch around your neck here, maybe a little bit of rotation to bring an awareness of that area of your body. And after you've kind of activated it to a degree, let it sit neutral. Breathe into that area of your body. Thinking about the muscles supporting your cervical spine. trying to bring relaxation and softness to that area of your body. Okay, we're going to move to our shoulders. Do some gentle shoulder rolls here. Thinking of your chest open, willing to accept and give love. Your shoulders slightly back and down, softened. Having your arms hang off of, give them a little shake. Want them to droop to your side. Again, if you need to wiggle your fingers or rotate your wrist to bring some awareness, flick your fingers, do that. Thinking about the muscles almost falling off of your bone, just hanging, relaxing. Continue breathing in through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. On every inhale, imagine you're bringing oxygen to every cell in your body, letting it function. Muscle tissues. Okay, we're going to bring some awareness to our midsection here. We want to do some slight twisting. We can. We've been holding our core nice and strong through our exercise. If you want now, you can just let it rest. Let it relax. Letting your body sink into the chair. Next, I want you to shift your hips forward and back. Kind of think about jutting out each knee, which gives a little bit of massage to your buttocks. Get some movement through your hips here. And then letting them kind of again splay open, thinking about your pelvis being open. The muscles around your hips hanging off of your bone. Your buttocks just catching your weight on the chair. Awesome. If you want to rub your thighs a little bit, bring some awareness to that part of your body, the sides, the backs a little bit. These big muscles, your quads in the front and your hamstrings in the back. Adductors. They're often working a lot, helping you to walk and stand. And again, you're going to think about those muscles almost just falling off the femur, your bone there, drooping off of the bone. Inhaling and letting them relax. And down to your calves again, if you want to give them a little touch here, or if you do some ankle pumps, so like lifting your heels. And then rotate your ankles a little bit here, and then letting your lower limb just droop, hang. Allowing space in the knees, space in your ankles. And wiggle your toes a little bit. Trying to let your feet relax. Many of us can feel discomfort in different areas of our body, feet, knees, shoulders. And if you did notice any of that throughout our body scan here, you're just noticing it and not spending too much energy focusing on it, just noticing it's there and then moving to the next part of your body. And letting your whole body relax here. The muscles hang off of your skeleton. Having space between each joint. Thinking about with each breath, providing nutrients, oxygen to the tissues, to the cells. Awesome. Slowly coming back to the present, to this moment, into this space. Noticing what you see and hear around you. Noticing your external environment after we focused mostly internally here. Awesome. Coming back, hopefully integrating both your physical body and your external world. I hope you're feeling ready to tackle your day, whatever that looks like, and keep that brain healthy from all of us at Cowichan Brain Injury Society. See you next week. Bye.